Hello, I'm Andrew. I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate Yule log. It's not Slimming World friendly, but it's very friendly to me. So I'd just like to show you, and I hope you like it. So yeah, here we go.
What ingredients do we need?
Oh, you know, stuff. Bit of this, bit of that. Got some lovely flour. Here we go.
Self-raising flour.
Yeah. 5 eggs.
5 eggs.
A good quality chocolate, cocoa.
Yeah.
This is green and blacks. And light muscovado sugar.
And then later on.
And then that's basically for the sponge.
For the sponge.
And then what I'm going to use is a very good quality chocolate for the ganache, which is basically heated double cream and a good quality chocolate. I'm going to use Lindor, 5 bars.
5 bars.
5 bars. I'll just try and hang on. What's this? Hang on. Per 100 grams. So there's 605 calories in each bar, and we need 5.
So you can see why it's not Slimming World friendly.
So I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably around about 4 sins.
No, it's not. So what have you done for the sponge?
This is
what have you done with this?
Just line a Swiss roll tin with parchment.
And you've also
I've
greased.
Yes, all right. They're not daft, you know. Yeah, just to give it just something to stick to. Just brush it with some butter or margarine or whatever you've got that's sticky.
And then line it.
And then line it.
Right, so let's get started.
Right, so here we go. I've preheated the oven to 170 fan or 190 without a fan. Right, I'm going to just separate 5 eggs now. So here we go.
Using the egg separator that we got from Lakeland.
Can my assistant just pass me one of those? I'll have the. Hang on. I'll have that one. Yeah, I'll have that one. That's a nice one.
So do we need both the yolk and the white?
Yes, you'll need both. Yeah, there's no actual fat in this recipe. There's no margarine or butter. It's all in the eggs. So I'll just carry on doing these and then.
Right. So separate. You need 5 eggs. Separate all 5 eggs and place the yolk in a bowl. Preserve the white for later on. Right. So we've separated the egg whites and the egg yolks, and you want your muscovado sugar next. So how much muscovado sugar do we need?
140 grams.
140 grams of light muscovado sugar. Then, sorry, you say.
Right, sugar in with egg yolks. So here we go. Oh, help if I switch the bloody thing on, won't it? Right. Now you want to be whisking this for 2 or 3 minutes until it comes quite light and fluffy.
So what are you going to add to that then, now you've whisked it?
I'm just going to put a couple of tablespoons of cold water in.
So yeah, 2 tablespoons of cold water. And whisk again. So how long have we whisked that mixture for?
This has been mixing for about a week.
A good 5 minutes. And what does it need to look like?
It's got to look like, so when you finish, you leave trails in it like that.
Yes, it's got to be a quite thick mixture.
Yeah.
Lots of air in it, and leave trails in the mixture. And Andrew tidies up after himself, so he'll go and wash these now. Unlike me, I leave all the washing up to the end. And then I get shouted at. So if you get your self-raising flour ready and a sieve, that will be the next step.
Now say, right, okay. Get your sieve, right? Now you want 100
grams.
Yeah, I want all right, I know, bloody hell. 100 grams of self-raising flour.
Are you not measuring it?
Oh shit, hang on.
Excuse the language.
Where's my thing gone? Oh yeah, that'll do. Right.
The importance of weighing and measuring, Slimming World or otherwise.
Oh, it's alright, it's near enough, isn't it? So what I'll do is I've got 100 grams in there. I'll do the 25 grams of cocoa at the same time.
Yeah, 25 grams of good quality cocoa powder. Exact, there we go. But basically it's 2 tablespoons.
And bung it in your egg yolk and your sugar mixture.
Sieve it.
Just sieve it through. Right, I'll get rid of that.
And then what do we do? Do you want this metal spoon, dear?
Now what I'll do is I'll put these back in, because basically what you're trying to achieve with this mix is you don't want to be knocking any air out of it. So I'm going to use the
hand mixer.
The hand mixer, and the actually no. What I'll do is I don't need to have it on there. What am I doing? I'm going to use one of these just to mix it with.
Just to fold it in. So fold the flour and the cocoa powder gently into the egg yolk and sugar mixture. Andrew's finding the mixture slightly tough, and he's made this before, so he's experienced enough to know that he can add a little splash of milk just to get it going again. You could use water if you wanted to, but Andrew used milk, didn't you, my love?
I certainly did, yes.
Smells good enough to lick out the bowl, but as we all know, I am not allowed to do that. And I might get beaten up as well if I did. You don't like people licking the bowl, do you?
No.
It's very good. He never licks his fingers or anything, do you?
No.
Andrew's got his tool out, haven't you?
Have I? Oh, you mean this?
Yes,
Oh,
your
yeah.
new tool,
Right.
your Kenwood K-Mix.
Yes.
And what have you got your tool out for?
This is to do when we separated the eggs. This will now mix in the egg whites, and these want to be probably a couple of minutes until they're
Fluffy.
light and fluffy like clouds. And hang on a minute. It would help actually.
I plugged it in. So yeah, whisk the egg whites for a couple of minutes. Right, the egg white has been beaten for a good few minutes until it's stiff. So it looks like this.
White and stiff basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, so do this in thirds. So I try and take a third out at a time
Of the egg white.
of the egg white and put it into your chocolate mix.
And then
And then just gently incorporate it into your chocolate mix. Try not to knock the air out of your egg whites.
I think, is this your third or fourth year making one of these?
Yeah, I would think so. Probably might even be longer actually. Because I remember doing one at my old job for the people that work there.
There is a recipe that we work from, so I will try to link it in the description box.
It will become easier as you add more egg whites to it, because it's quite stiff at the moment. And if you're doing it properly, and you're not knocking the air out, you'll see that the actual volume of mixture will increase quite a bit.
And this is the third batch of egg whites just being stirred gently in. See how much more the mixture fills the bowl now.
Make sure that you incorporate every bit of egg whites into the mixture, or you'll have, when it's finished baking, you'll have
Little lumps.
brown and white, basically brown and white cake
So you want to take your tray, which is...
Well, it's a mixture for a tin that's 30 by 35 centimetres. What was it? Just a normal Swiss roll tin will do. This is basically what this is. So it should, the mixture is obviously all done now. You'll see little air holes in it. So that's what it should look like, and it's got quite a sloppy consistency now. So I'll put that in carefully. So
yeah, don't pour it from a height because you'll knock the air out. Who wants to lick the bowl?
not me. So just gently lift it up and just manoeuvre it into the corners. Just you don't want to be tapping it. So that's ready for the oven now.
So what temperature's the oven again?
The oven, if you've got a fan, 170 or 190 on a normal oven.
And how long roughly?
I would. Do you know, I haven't got a bloody clue.
You do know.
It's not long, it'll be about 12 to 15 minutes.
12 to 15 minutes. But we'll let you know how long exactly when we take ours out and how we decide whether it's done. Yeah, 10 to 12 minutes or until the cake feels firm to the touch.
Yeah, everybody's oven will differ slightly, so you know, just keep an eye on it. But yeah, I would say probably around about 12 minutes will be fine.
So we will see you in 12 minutes.
Right, while your sponge is in the oven baking, just prepare yourself some greaseproof paper on top of your worktop. Sprinkle it with some caster sugar, and then when you take the sponge out, just tip it onto the prepared greaseproof paper and leave to cool. But I'll show you that when I take it out. Right, I'm going to take it out of the oven now, so there you go, brace yourself. And there you go. So tip it onto your greaseproof paper. And then carefully take away your
Baking paper.
parchment or whatever you've used.
I tell you, I wish it was smell-o-vision. Oh, the smell, it's like a chocolate shop.
Look at that, isn't it, with it being chocolate?
It's torture. Just being very, very gentle. Look at that. It's a beauty, my love.
So what you want to be doing now is just leave that to cool. Place a clean tea towel on top, and then come back to it when it's cooled completely. Right, what I'm going to do now, it's cooled, it's almost cool, but it'll be fine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim all the way around the actual sponge, just to get rid of, so everything's even.
And what do you do with the trimmed ends?
So let him bin.
He does, honestly, he does. He doesn't eat them. I don't know how he does it. See, if it was me making it, Slimming World or not, that would go straight in my mouth. Well,
once you've trimmed around the edges, get your the longest part, so the width of the sponge, so your longest part nearest to you, just score along the edge, probably around about 2 centimeters from the edge of the cake. So just run your knife probably halfway through the sponge. And using the paper, just start to roll gently. And it's at this point it's fine to roll the actual paper up inside the actual roll. Make sure as you're rolling it, you're keeping it as even as possible.
and then he's rested it against something. Don't know if you can see that.
Just make sure that the end of the roll is underneath the actual roll itself, and that'll keep it in place. A bit like if you're making a sausage roll, and just allow that just to stay there while you make.
We've got a small saucepan warming on the hob. We've got our 5 bars of lint, and what have you got there, Andrew?
Double cream.
A full carton.
Yeah, it's 284 millilitres.
Bring it down a bit and just. So a full carton, and we've used Elmley double cream.
So just tip all that into your saucepan.
We've got it on about half heat. It's still not straight, sorry.
Make sure you keep stirring this all the time so it doesn't catch on the bottom of the saucepan. While Debbie does that, I'll break these pieces of chocolate.
I did ask him if he needed a bowl and he's changed his mind now.
Well, I don't really need a bowl, but just makes it more civilised, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we'll break up the chocolate and come back to you. So you want to break up, you have 5 bars of Lindt chocolate and you want to break up 4, preserving 1 for use later. It's nice if it's already a bit softened. Here we go. Let's have a smell of that. Oh.
Half a sin in there.
So I'll just show you this again. Sometimes they are a little bit hard to get hold of. This is the chocolate that we use. And Elmley double cream.
I'm only using Elmley because I couldn't get hold of normal double cream. It all sold out.
So we're waiting for that to boil.
Yeah, just bring it to the boil, and then take it off the heat once it's reached boiling point. And then what we'll do is we'll add the chocolate and then stir it in until it's all combined.
As soon as the cream gets to boiling point, take it off the heat. But while it's boiling, you need to really stir it really well, including around the sides. And then add the chocolate. So remember, it's 4 bars at this point. You're preserving 1 bar to use elsewhere. And then gently stir it through and it's already melting. So if you combine that really well, and we'll show you what it looks like at the end. Right, so it's now thoroughly combined. Show it a bit closer. That's it.
There you go. So it's quite thick, you know. Obviously it's too thin to put it on now onto the actual cake, but this needs to go into the fridge now and cool for up to an hour. Keep checking on it though, because you don't want it to go too stiff, because you need to spread it on the actual cake. So I mean, it's not a disaster if it does go too thick, because you can always loosen it up by giving it a good stir.
So right, so you don't leave it to cool, you just put it straight in the fridge.
Leave it to cool for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's still quite hot. I'll probably leave it to cool for 10 minutes or so, and then I'll stick it in the fridge for up to an hour, 3/4 of an hour to an hour. Just keep checking on it. Give it a stir every so often. And I'll show you the consistency it needs to be, so you know. But I'll leave that now. Right, the chocolate, the ganache, has been in the fridge for probably just under an hour. That's the consistency it is. You don't want it too sloppy, but you don't want it too thick that you can't actually get it on the sponge either. But that's, if you're looking at something like that, that just sort of eventually just drops off the spoon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a third of this and put it in a separate bowl. And that basically is, that's what's going to be, I'm going to coat that in for the inside of the sponge. So what I'm going to do to that now is, with the other bar of chocolate that you had left over, just break it up.
You've actually had that in the freezer, haven't you, for about 10 minutes?
Yeah, just so it's easier to break up into little pieces, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break this chocolate up. Right, once you've broken it up into fairly small pieces, there'll be a few big chunks there, but it doesn't matter. Pour that into your chocolate mixture. And then just give it a, just combine it all. And it just gives you your filling a little bit more
crunch.
Yeah, a bit of crunch, a bit more interest when you bite into it. It's not just a buttercream sort of thing. So once that's done,
what's this remaining chocolate for?
This what's left over is to go in the bin.
No, it's to go in your mouth. It's for eating.
Right, so the roll that you rolled up earlier on,
That has been left rolled up all this time.
it's basically the reason why you do it is it just gives the sponge some memory of what it's supposed to do once you fill it. So it's a lot easier to roll the next time. So slap your mixture in.
He did lick his fingers that time.
I'm just testing it, see if it tastes all of it.
Palette knife.
So just spread the mixture as evenly as you can. I just have to put a little bit more in. Once you've spread it all on, start rolling again. But this time just leave the paper behind. Can you just keep hold of that one so it stays in place? Now this probably will crack, but it don't really matter because
it's going to be covered up.
It's going to be covered anyway, so
as tight as you possibly can. Oh my god, it's just heavenly, is this. So what we've done is cut a fresh piece of greaseproof paper or baking paper and transferred the log, still joined side down, onto the fresh piece of paper, ready to decorate it.
So it's just a matter of covering it with the chocolate ganache that you've got left.
Just keep piling it on and smoothing it out.
Like I said before, make sure you get your consistency right at this stage. It'll make your life a lot easier. So you don't want it too thick because it'll just break your sponge, but you don't want it too watery either. Just slap it on to start off with, then you can smooth it all out and make it neat.
Go.
So I've covered it all now, so I'm just going to titivate. So just basically making it look like a log by just putting little grooves and indentations in it.
Sometimes we've decorated it with a little plastic holly sprig or something like that.
Well, that'll do for the actual log part. And for the end, or for the ends, I'll use a fork and just give it a swirl round.
I knew there was a fork involved somewhere. At this point you can't help but lick your fingers, I'm afraid. You can just tidy up the edges of the paper just with a palette knife. How many of you would like a slice right now? And then get some icing sugar and a sieve. So a heaped teaspoon of icing sugar and let it snow.
There you go.
And we have this airtight tub, a long one. I think we got it from Lakeland, didn't we, love?
Yeah.
And it has a airtight lid like this, and we'll just transfer that into there. We'll be back in a minute, and here's the finished article. So this is Andrew's chocolate Yule log. Not Slimming Well friendly, I'm afraid, unless you have one small slice and no other sins that day. Any parting words of advice or comments, Mr. Fawcett?
Yeah, just I hope you enjoy it. If it's anything like previous years we've done, it should be nice. Everybody seems to like it. It's very decadent. You know,
Yeah.
it's quite an expensive thing to make as well because of the chocolate. I mean, you don't have to use that chocolate, but once you've tried it, you won't. Anything else is not. You know, it's just not the same. So, but yeah, it's a really lovely chocolate roll or chocolate Yule log.
And what do we do?
Have a small slice with a nice cup of tea.
No, but we put it in the fridge, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, it still needs to set a bit. It's quite warm in here tonight, so
We're going to put that in the fridge overnight to set a little bit and then serve it tomorrow. And you'll serve it with a bit of cream and a cup of coffee.
yeah, sounds nice. A cup of tea, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for showing us how to make that, Mr. Fawcett.
Oh, you're welcome.
And thank you for watching.